The flags line the way home for Private First Class Trevor Cruey, injured in Afghanistan.
They've been doing all the surgeries at the hospital there at Fort Bragg. This kid's something else, evidently, from what I've seen of him.
And few could hide their excitement because the returning hero had no idea what was waiting for him.
10 minutes out.
The Patriot Guard riders gathered like they usually do to honor the servicemen and women. But this mission, as they call it, was different.
Don't be doing those slow salutes. We got this one back home.
Hey, Jim, this is a good mission.
But before the hero could pull in, the rain came down. And even in the pouring rain, these riders say they wouldn't be anywhere else but here to honor this soldier.
These young men and women that are serving our country now and sacrificing so much, they deserve this.
Then the moment came.
On behalf of a grateful America, a whole bunch of veterans, and the Patriot Guard riders from Kentucky, we thank you so much for your service.
Y'all stand here getting wet in the rain for me and stuff?
Yeah, you deserve it.
I'm speechless. I didn't know what to say. Not everybody gets a welcome home like that, you know. I'm very thankful. I'm blessed, yeah.
No, Trevor. We're thankful and blessed for your service.
Welcome home.
In Lexington, Tim Johnston, WKYT, 27 News First. More than a week has passed since an EF3 tornado tore through downtown West Liberty.
Figured out how that radio worked.
State Trooper Jeff Crace still thinks back to that Friday evening and the decision that forever changed his life.
I had came across Kentucky 7 traveling south toward West Liberty when Morehead Post had put out for everybody to take shelter. And when I came around the curve, basically I was looking at it.
The trooper said he had to choose a right turn to Sandy Hook or a left to West Liberty. He took the left turn.
But what I didn't realize is I was going to drive right into the path of it.
Just moments before the deadly twister hit town, Crace and another man were seen rushing into the West Liberty Police Department. It was the last image the cameras caught. 20 seconds later, the power went out.
Didn't realize we was that close to actually being hit when I first went through the door. 20 seconds out. You know, that wasn't a lot of time. Everybody was just kind of finding something to hang on to.
When Trooper Crace and the others came out, there was little time to look around. It was time to go to work.
We had people laying in the street. A lot of people were hollering for help.
All lines of communication were out, except for Trooper Crace's radio.
Well, I was lucky. The antenna was broken on the car, but it did still transmit. I did have contact with Morehead Post, and they were able to help.
It's been more than a week since the tornado hit West Liberty, but today was the first time that Trooper Crace saw his cruiser.
Something else.
The window smashed, the car totaled.
I don't think I'd have survived it if I'd have been in it.
While it may be more than a week after the storm, this trooper will always think about the decision he made in the 20-second dash that saved his life. Tim Johnston, WKYT, 27 News First. While not much is known about the moments before the deadly crash, a look at David Vanderpool's history suggests the whole nightmare could have been avoided.
He was on parole at the time of this accident, which would have ended sometime in 2015.
The 31-year-old has faced roughly 35 charges in 7 years. Most are theft-related, but a few stand out. Like in 2006, he was charged with driving on a suspended license. And in March of 2012, he was arrested for a felony theft charge. He was found guilty and sentenced to 5 years. He served only 9 months.
At the time he was sentenced, he had served about 180 some days, and all people get credit for the time they have served. And under the current regulations, a person is eligible to be paroled on a 5-year sentence after they've served 9 months.
On December 5th, he again was arrested, this time in Lincoln County for driving on a suspended license. He pled guilty the next day, and despite being on parole, he was sentenced to just 30 days. But Judge Janet Booth gave him a 2-year conditional discharge, or simply probation.
Probably at that time, no one was aware of it, and I'm sure if they were aware of it, they may have looked at it differently. I don't think it was their fault.
Just 18 days later, the deadly crash happened.
Those are the type of people who, very frankly, would be better served personally by a longer sentence.
Twice in the same year, Vanderpool was sentenced to time he never fully served, something that friends and family of the victims and Vanderpool's own mother says greatly impacted what happened that Christmas Eve night.
If he'd have stayed in, he'd have been alive today.
Jackie Curitan says she pushed for her son to stay in the halfway house. Instead, he was released. While she hadn't spoken to her son since September, her heart is breaking.
I just want to know what happened. And I am so sorry for the other lost. Very much sorry for the other lost.
Even more, the state transportation cabinet says Vanderpool's license was again under suspension after the Whitley County court system made the request in November of 2011.
There is nothing that prevents a person without a license or with a suspended license getting a set of keys, going to a car, and taking off.
Still, David Vanderpool got behind the wheel, and his choice had a major impact. In Whitley County, Tim Johnston, WKYT. A trip to the Cincinnati Zoo for any other kid is a great day, but for 3-year-old Brandon Mefford, it's a miracle.
I immediately thought he was going to die.
Since April 4th, Brandon's whole world has been here in this hospital bed, surrounded by doctors, nurses, and pain.
It's definitely the worst experience I've ever had in my life.
When Mefford got to the hospital, she didn't know what to expect.
He got run over by a rotting lawnmower. He's 3 years old. Look how little he is.
Brandon had his arm amputated above his right elbow, and doctors braced the family for more troubling news.
Well, then the doctor come in and he said, I need you to come sign this consent form. And I was, well, what for? And on it said right foot amputation. That's the worst feeling ever, is to have to give the doctor consent to cut your kid's foot off.
It just sounded big.
His leg was a lot harder to explain than his arm. He took his leg very hard when he seen that he had no piggies.
With 7 surgeries already behind them, Brandon's mother now worries about the future.
The song, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. You know, stomp your feet. And I cried for hours because I thought he's not going to be able to sing that song.
But Brandon's not one to stay down. This is his therapy.
So we just kind of get up and go and walk and run and chase and go outside, and he likes the basketball hoop. Yeah, so it wears me out for sure. But it's good. He does a great job. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good job. Make him dance. The main thing was to try to figure out how to get him so he can be up on his leg and standing, to help the transition when he gets the prosthesis and all that to go a little bit smoother.
For Brandon, therapy looks a little like playtime, but each element has a purpose.
No?
No? It's not playtime?
It's not playtime. 1, 2,
With each
3,
kick he
4,
takes,
5.
and each move he makes, a new hope rises.
But the longer that I'm here, the more I realize that he's strong, and he's going to be able to hold his kids when he gets older. And he's going to be able to run around the yard, and he's going to be able to sing the song and clap his hands.
And that's something that would make any mother proud.
Mama, Dada.
Tim Johnston, WKYT, 27 News First.
He's a fast mover, guys.